This is Chance, and this is the way to collaborate with Git and GitHub. And wanted to at least show you how there's a couple ways of being able to collaborate with code on GitHub. So one is having an organization. This is basically you having a team of people or students or just however you want to organize it. And you can create a new organization by clicking the plus, going to new organizations. And then you're able to then have this list of organizations of where you can have multiple projects inside. So it could be your class, or it could be just a few of you as coworkers or students, or however you want to be able to organize yourself. The idea here is that you have multiple repositories, multiple code bases, basically multiple projects that you're working on. You can see the people that have access to this repository, and I'm going to do something a little different. So the first way of editing and collaborating is being a part of an organization that you have rights to the code that you want to edit. And you can clone down this repository and get to work. It's really easy. And the other way of doing this is being able to fork off of this code base. And so if I fork a repository, that means I make a copy that I can edit, and then I can make requests to this original code base that I want to basically contribute. So in this case, I do have access to CodeSite, but I'm going to fork off to show you how this would work inside of Cloud9 or inside of your local environment. So with a fork, I'm going to be able to select where I want to make a copy of this project in. So I'm going to put it on my personal account. I'm going to let this do the copy. And then what we're able to do from here is grab the repository in a workspace for Cloud9. So if I do new workspace, and I'm actually going to go back, I'm going to do repositories here on the left. And then I'm going to look for code site. So there's that. And then it's going to be a public repository. It's going to name it the same thing. And here's the repository link to my personal account. And this is actually a PHP project. So typically you're going to use HTML5 or whatever code base you want, but this is the one that you'll typically use. I'm going to use PHP in this case. So create workspace. And this is going to start building. So when I make a fork of a project, GitHub is clear on how this process works. And so you're able to set up Git on your local computer if you don't already have it. And then in Cloud9, it comes pre-installed, so that makes that easy. And then with the cloning process, we're going to clone the project that we forked. And then we're able to then set the remote location of the upstream. And so this upstream is going to be the original code base that we had in the CO's organization. So with the CO's organization, we are going to set this repository as the upstream. And if I go back one, my personal profile is going to be the origin remote location. So let's see what this all looks like. So we've got our project now set up. I'm going to double click index.html or .php, sorry. And then if you see in this example here, we're missing a space, and this is the thing I want to edit and then push to the original repo. So we're going to add a space to this, and we will push that up. So it's actually this variable here, this month equals, and it needs to have a space because it looks like tonight has a space, next month has a space, and we just need to add a space to this month. So I'm going to edit that, hit save, and then I'm going to run the project. It's going to open up the Apache server. I'm going to click open up a new tab. And I'm missing some of the styles here, but I know that this is the only thing we've changed, and join us now has a space where this one does not. And so let's push this up, and let's basically add our code changes to the original repository. So I'm going to go back to the terminal. I'm going to do git status. Git status, and then you can see index.php is red. We have not staged it yet, so git add dot, which is my current directory. I'm just going to add everything. We only edited one element, and then we're going to do a git commit fixes the CTA for join us. Hit enter, and then now I have this commit added to the repository locally. I'm going to git push, and now that takes my change up to my personal account. So I'm going to refresh. We're going to see, or made that change 12 seconds ago. If I go back to the original repo, the last change was January 3rd, so 2 months ago. So you can see 12 seconds ago was for index.php. And now let's push this up to the original repo. So what I need to do is go to the original repo. I'm going to grab this URL here in a second, Let's go back to the example. So if I do git remote v, it's going to show all of the list of remote locations that I have. So we'll do git remote v, and then I have 2 origin locations, and I need to add upstream. Upstream is going to be the original code base. So let's go back to the example. You can see that it says git remote add upstream, and we're just going to be doing the exact same thing, just adding in the location for the original repo. So now we're going to grab that URL. This is the repo URL. We want to be set as upstream. So git remote add upstream. Going to click enter. Now, if I do git remote v, I can see the list. I have origin and upstream. I'm going to do a git fetch to fetch all of the commits and changes and of upstream and origin. And it looks like we are now set to be able to fetch from the upstream. So now let's do git fetch upstream just to be specific. All right, so we have a new branch is in the remote location. We're able to now merge in those changes, if there were any, from the old repository to our new one. So let's do git merge upstream. We'll do master branch. Already up to date. There were no changes made to this original repository. Now we can do our pull request. So our pull request is going to be saying we're making a request of the change that we made to be added to the original code base. So here is where we would do that. We're in our personal account. We're going to do a pull request of the change we made into the cloud site under at theCO organization. So able to merge branches can be automatically merged. We're going to do a create pull request, and then here, if you do in Markdown, you can do a image and show what the change would look like. So here's what the change looks like with the space. I'm going to do a screenshot and then pull that screenshot in. So desktop screenshot here, I'm gonna push it up to Imager, and then it's gonna give me a link, and I can paste it right into this. So I'm going to preview, and you can see that the image that I took has the space. And then now, when you do a pull request, it's nice to know that this is the change I made, and this is what it's supposed to look like. So if you pull down my change and it doesn't look like the way it should, maybe there's something else that got messed up. And so screenshots are a great way of sharing the change that you intended to make. So it's create pull request, and then since I have access to the original code base, I can do a merge pull request. So yeah, let's just look at this on the other side. So I can refresh. I can see that I have one pull request now as the person that would be able to merge this in. I can see that this pull request fixes the CTA for join us. I can see the change that Chance wanted to make, and I can go and merge in that pull request, or I can continue a conversation about what's going on here. So I can look and see what change he made. It looks like he added a space, harmless. No big deal. So I can go back to the pull request tab, and then I can merge in the changes. So confirm merge, confirmed. And then next time those changes are pulled down and pushed up to the server, then that will be live. So that's how you do a collaboration with a fork on GitHub. The more you do it, the more it makes sense. Just keep practicing. All right, guys, thanks.